Okay, folks, it's your buddy Mike Messier. I just saw Love and Basketball for the first time. Now, I had thought going into this, I was pretty sure I had seen this movie going in, but for some reason, I don't think I had ever seen this movie. I don't think I've ever seen it on TV. I'm pretty damn sure I never saw it in the theater before. So today was my big day, and I'm here to report that I enjoyed the movie. I was intrigued exactly when did this movie come out. It came out in the year 2000, although it takes place, I guess, in four time periods or quarters, as the movie announces. I guess I'll give you, if you haven't seen this movie before, I did like it. If you like basketball, if you like romance, if you like, I guess you'd call it a women's empowerment movie of sorts, sort of, although that's a little... depends on what you think, because I guess I'll get into the spoilers. The guy played by Omar Epps, who I remembered quite fondly, he has a lot of sex with a lot of women in this movie. Characters played by some real Hollywood heavyweights. I believe it's Gabrielle Union early in the film at the high school dance, and then later, spoilers, he's supposed to marry a character played by Tyra Banks, but his heart truly belongs, apparently, to the girl next door, quite literally, and I'm having a hard time pronouncing the actress's name. I don't think I've seen this actress before, although apparently she's had a great career, and I just read a nice article about what she had to do for this movie. She was auditioning against women's basketball players. She was not a women's basketball player. She was not experienced in basketball. So she insisted that as part of the audition process, she was going up against real-life basketball playing women who were all getting acting coaches. And she said, well, if you're going to give them an acting coach, give me a basketball coach. So they did, and then she got the part, and she says in this article I just read, she never felt fully loved or trusted with the role, and blah, blah, blah. And just a pretty fascinating story of the behind the scenes. Is it Gina Price Blythewood, if I'm saying that right, directed and wrote this movie, and our buddy Spike Lee was a producer, and I was surprised, happily, I guess, to see Spike and 40 Acres and a Mule Productions, Spike Lee's company at the end of it with the big stamp, and then the little postscript. This movie, surprisingly, if you stuck around to the end credits like I did, there was a little postscript of spoilers again. The two characters have a daughter, and she's off and playing basketball herself. So I don't know. It's just a good movie. I mean, it's a movie that I can't really find fault in. Although, if from a 2021 standpoint, you say, man, this guy got a lot of ass, fucking a lot of women. Yet he's always going back to this girl, and she's not going around fucking all the guy. I guess that's the way that the guy would like it. He gets all his kicks and jollies in, and the woman is just loyal to him. But it's directed by a woman, so what can you say? I mean, there's all these dynamics, supposedly, of men are encouraged to fuck as many hoes as they can, and women are supposed to be virginal and chaste. And I'm not making these things up. This is just part of the society that you created for me, that I live in. So I'm just playing by the rules you fucks created. If the things were the magic Mike Messier way, and I could snap my fingers and make everything equal and happy, we've been through this, But as far as the movie goes, it is quite entertaining. I am glad there was I went into the movie, I was a little parched. I did buy the $6 fountain soda. I mean, you pay $6 and you have to make your own. God, I mean, I dropped, jeez. We're still okay. But you have to make your own soda, which I did. And then I go to my seat, and there was two other people in the theater, and I think they were trying to make this movie theater their own little passion pit, if you understand what I'm saying. So I tried to make some noise as far as like pushing my seat up and down, so they didn't end up fucking in a goddamn theater when I'm trying to watch this movie. I mean, get a fucking room. But in any event, I did like the movie. I enjoyed it. It is one of those movies, like, I'm having a hard time remembering the names of some of these people, but the guy that plays Omar Epps' father, who has that deep voice, and he used to do the Allstate commercials, he plays his dad, and then Onfrey Woodard plays, you know, the girl's mom, and then there's sisters and Regina Hall, and it's kind of like when I saw Do the Right Thing the other day. It's like all these actors who, you know, went on to do stuff or had already done stuff. It's a star-studded affair. What else can I say? I did get into the movie about 2 minutes, I would estimate about 2 minutes late, but I did catch the moment when they're children and they're playing basketball against each other, and I guess the girl is winning and he shoves her and she scratches up her face, and then they have this, that kind of is the testimony. So I guess the dynamic that I think is interesting, if we put aside the acting and all these things, if you really come down to the story and kind of the power dynamic of this couple, he's physically abused her as children, you know, just in a basketball game, roughed her up. She's got this scar on her face for the rest of her life, but it's almost like a inverted taming of the shrew. Like I said, he's going around balling every girl he can. She's very chaste and loyal, and we don't see her with any other romantic interests. She goes on one date with a guy, a college guy, who she says was kissing on me and feeling on me, and I need him in the balls. So, I mean, you know, I don't know, she wasn't really saying date rape, but just saying that this guy was all over her and she's needing him in the balls. So, I mean, all these things, he's fucking every chick in town. I mean, including some pretty prime real estate here. Like I said, Gabrielle Union and all these other beautiful women, and he's taking girls to Burger King. And she's just kind of accepting this, like she's gotta be with her man. And then she's getting upset. And then it's a whole big thing where she's got a curfew because she's on the female basketball team at USC. And she's got to be in the dorm for 11. But he wants to bitch about his father cheating on his mother. But she has to leave. And then he's mad at her for like 5 years because she fucking is doing the thing and trying not to get off the team. So there is some, you tell me if I'm wrong, but I think in 2021, the woke world, the Twitter feed would be blowing up about this movie. Maybe not so positively, because she is really, you know, giving this guy the key to her chastity belt. And then the big switcheroo at the end is that she disrupts his marriage plans to Tyra Banks' character. And suddenly we go to the Los Angeles, you know, LA Sports Arena, the LA Forum, whatever it is at the time. And now she's off playing basketball in the WNBA. And the guys in the audience holding the baby. So there's been a big switch. He's gotten his willy wet as much as he can in his youth, but she's finally cut his balls off and made him a fucking diaper changer, and he's in the audience with the baby. So it's just one of those things where I guess everybody gets what they want, but nobody gets what they want in the relationship. Now, like I said, this movie was made 20 years ago, more than 20 years ago. And so watching it now with eyes, there's a tinge of nostalgia. And it not only was it made 20 years ago, it takes place in time in the 80s and 90s. So that's like double nostalgia. You're nostalgia for the year 2000, pre-9/11. And then you are further nostalgic for the 80s and 90s. So all these wonderful things. Once again, I did like the movie, and don't accuse me, don't hashtag me of trying to censor or disrupt the movie. I'm just saying that some of these things, the way they're handled in today's audience, would they be so well received? Or is it just the way that it is? I mean, is it just a reflection of society that the man is expected to fuck every whore that he can, every skeeza, and the woman just sits there and acknowledges it? You tell me, because I've given up trying to figure out these goddamn rules of society and fairness and equality. I've given up on trying to make sense of this disaster of a world you've created for me to live in. So if you figured it out, if you have all the goddamn answers, then leave a comment in the YouTube comment section. Otherwise, what the fuck? But I did enjoy the movie, don't get me wrong. Gabrielle Union, oh my goodness. Just putting some mileage, you know, into the eyeballs of men across the world in that dress. Oh my God. And Tyra Banks, what a pleasant surprise. You know, this is what I was going to say. I had this giant beverage and I had to use the facilities. But once again, sometimes you're in a movie, especially a movie you haven't seen before, and you're like, oh fuck, when can I go to the restroom? And so I'm about to go because he's in the fucking hospital bed because he's blown out his ACL. And I'm like, well, this will be a good time to go to the restroom because I'm sure they're going to do a training sequence or a recovery, or the doctor's going to come in, or the coach or something. But instead, boom, there she is. There's the girl next door. She's come home from Barcelona. She's come to see him. And I'm just like, holy boy, I guess this is like a big moment that I better hold it. You know, my facilities trip. So I stuck around and watched it. And then the next scene was the girl talking to her mother. And like the whole mother-daughter, you never loved me as much as you could have. Well, you didn't love me as much as you could have. And you were ashamed of me because I was just your mother. And I didn't do all these things and blah, blah, fuck. Anyway, all these dynamics. It was fun to see a 2 Live Crew poster in the fucking movie. That was a nice surprise, a pleasant surprise. Although I don't think their music made the cut. They didn't have the Fuck Shop song in there. But it was a fun movie. I enjoyed it. Did you enjoy it? Once again, folks, it's nice to be in a part of the country where you can see a movie in the afternoon, come out, and it's still light out. It's cooled off now. It was quite hot earlier. I'm still doing my thing. It's Sunday night for the pro wrestling fans. This is Father's Day. Happy Father's Day, everyone. The pro wrestling fans, we've got a fucking wrestling show tonight, pay-per-view. Interestingly enough, King of the Ring 94 was on Father's Day. Did you know that? Owen Hart won it. I don't know what else I can say. There's a big 7th game of NBA basketball on for all the NBA fans. Subscribe to Mike Messier YouTube channel. Yes, that is the name of the channel. And I encourage you not only to subscribe, but to share these videos. Tell your friends, have street parties. Put these videos up on the block, you know, with a projector, and everyone sits around and watches them. Or watch them on your phone, whatever you want to do. So on and so forth, so on and so forth. For all the loyal subscribers, you might be saying, well, gee whiz, Mike, we don't know when your new videos are coming. I'm still experimenting with when to do instant premieres, when to do premieres. I don't know. If you have any suggestions, let me know. Okay. All right.